morning. I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some old friends today. Yeah. Hope, shelter, transformation. That's the mission statement of the Gospel Rescue Mission. It's 3 words that mean the most to many people struggling. The Gospel Rescue Mission states their holistic approach addresses the needs of the whole person, mind, body, and spirit, working in collaboration with those who are passionate about bringing permanent solutions to end the crisis of homelessness. And today, I'm fortunate to speak with the one and only Lisa Chastain, CEO of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Lisa, welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank. I feel like that was like my walkout, introduction or something.
I thought of that before. I was going to do it like, here's Johnny, and then I kind of screwed it up. But that's fine. So we've been talking for 45 minutes just hanging out off air because we like to do this. It is our 10th time talking together.
Happy 10th anniversary.
I know. I'm very excited.
I should have brought you something.
I was going to bring you flowers, and then I was running late, and I should have just stopped and done it. But yes, I'm so pumped because all of our times that we talk, to me, are the definition of Lifestyle Tucson, and even my journey hosting Lifestyle Tucson. I think if you listen to our first episode, you'll listen to me being a bit more like worried and, I don't know, stiff, and like us saying hello. And then it's just been my journey as I say, your organization have given me hope, made me a better person, made me volunteer, helped me hold my feet to the fire little by little every single time we get together, because we get together about 3 times a year. And then a little more because now I've seen you. We did conversations on a bench, which had me out there. That was great. We'll talk about that. I just want to touch on it again because now it's been a while since that. And I'd love to know like even more what's come out of that. It's been like 6 months. We talk always during Thanksgiving. We always talk during Christmas. And now being here for spring, it's Easter blessings. So it's a good time to obviously touch base and start our year out again as we always do. So thank you so much for always being here and helping me just grow as a person because Gospel Rescue Mission is helping so many people.
Yeah, it's been mutually beneficial for me too, Frank, getting to know you and your talents and your giftedness, and now you're a part of our events. So I'm thankful. We think that we're coming to do a radio show, but we're actually making new friends.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure.
Well, now I've given that 101, so why don't you tell some folks about what the Gospel Rescue Mission is, and then let's get into some of these events, and then we'll talk about some of the stuff we've done in the past few months.
Wonderful. Gospel Rescue Mission, since 1953, has been helping the homeless community here in Tucson. It was started by my grandfather, Ray Chastain, who is Southern Pacific yard master at the time and saw the hobos riding the rails that they called them back in those days and became compassionate about it, would bring things from home, and my grandmother would cook food and he would take it to them, clothing, etc. That compassion just grew and we started the mission and started downtown Tucson and evolved into South Tucson. And fast forward, now we're at the center of opportunity, the old Holiday Inn Holidome Hotel, 4550 South Palo Verde Road. And since opening in June of 2019, we've built 9 new buildings on the campus. We have 50 different partners working together with us to bring what we call people from homeless to wholeness. And Frank, there's a lot of steps in between to get from homeless to wholeness. And that's why we partner with so many people. And Gospel Rescue Mission handles all of the shelter beds, all the residential part. We do all the meals. We do all the case management. We do the addiction recovery. We have advocates for housing and workforce and 3 different levels. Everything else, we partner together with the great organizations that are in Tucson to bring that wholeness factor to people so they never have to return back on the streets.
That's the spirit, right? Get involved because they're always looking for volunteers, and that's how all this works and comes together by communicating and getting together, and seeing's believing. So get on down there, ask for a tour, and when you're there, you can check out some of these other 9 buildings because there's a whole bunch of them, but one of them is also a coffee shop. Yes. I think that, I'm not even sure if that was counting as one of the 9, but you've also got a coffee shop that just opened up. You've got the coffee truck as well. Tell us about that because it just opened up in September. I got the tour when I was down there, and it is beautiful. Eat your heart out, Starbucks. You ain't got nothing on this place.
Right. Thank you. We have 3 different levels of workforce development. Level 1, soft skills. We help with resumes and interviews and online searches and whatnot. Second level is the education piece. We're partnering together with Pima Community College. that we do what we call rapid certification for higher paying jobs in the trades of construction, logistics, culinary, IT, hospitality, CDL driver's license. And so what this does, Frank, is it allows people to get a education and certification in a trade so that they can enter the workplace with level 2 or level 3 credentials, so that they immediately, if you have a candidate with no skills and somebody with a certification skills, you're going to choose that person who's certified. So we're helping people get higher paying jobs, because if we can end poverty in their lives, that's the real win. The third level of that is hands-on training. So what Gospel Rescue Mission did is we start these little social enterprises that we started out with a mobile coffee cafe, and that turned into a brick and mortar version of the Opportunity Cafe. And this year we're opening a barber shop and some other things. And what that does is that it gives people real live experience. They're dealing with real customers. The stores are open up to the community. They can have that experience as they either stay with us or they enter into the workforce in that field.
Right? Isn't that magic? Because it's not just jobs, it's careers. You're helping people get
That's right.
careers.
Yes.
And I know plenty of people that were never homeless, and they're just my friends that are like, I don't know what I'm doing. They never picked what they wanted to do. They're stuck in jobs. And I always tell them, you need a career.
Right.
And they need to go get a skill like a CDL. That's a huge thing to achieve. Learn how to be a very popular barista. Learn how to be a very popular barber, because guess what? Those careers are cool. Everyone loves a cool barber, right? And beauty school is a big deal. Everyone's going to need it, because guess what? AI will not replace it. That's something to think about as well. Always going to need a haircut. I'm not letting a robot near me with scissors, okay? No, thank you.
Looks like, Frank, you're not letting anybody around you with scissors.
I might have to head on down there on one of those nice days where you give everybody haircuts, because yes, it's been a minute. You're right. How dare you? But my friends call this the college professor. That's right. It's grown a little long in the back. But yeah, it's so many opportunities, and that's even the point, is that you are doing that. And I was going to ask, and you told me last time, what was the next thing you're going to do? A barbershop. These are such great ways to help people, because it is a small business. That's a great small business. All you need is a room and a chair, and you can do this.
Right.
So that is a huge, huge benefit, that you're helping all of these folks. And times have changed since, as you talk about, like where we can talk about the way it used to be with homeless on the rails, calling them hobos. They didn't have the same chemical addictions that homeless folks are facing today. Right. So it's a big uphill battle that you're dealing with when it comes to the epidemic of homelessness. It's not what it used to be. It's just not. So just kudos to you and cheers nonstop for all the hard work you're doing in the face of what the ever-changing homelessness crisis is. Because it is ever-changing, but man, when you do things this good and lay out a path this clear, I think that anyone can really kick it, is the point. Yeah. They can find that strength to be like, all right, just hold my hand, maybe hold both hands, but these people are going to get me to the other side.
Yeah, and I think that, we designed the Center of Opportunity with that in mind, that, when we first opened, it was like, you don't have to go across town, you just have to go across the hall. So having all the services on the campus expedite the person's journey to get back to a place where they're finding their purpose, they're regaining their confidence, they can get their teeth fixed. That has a huge barrier. There's several barriers that people have for even workforce: clothing, confidence, hygiene, dental. All those things matter when you talk about careers.
Yeah.
So having all of those services, right there where they can get immediate access to resources makes a tremendous difference. And there's no excuses, right? If somebody really wants to end homelessness in their life and get a second chance in life, and there's no excuses there, because we have all the resources and programs to help them achieve that.
And speaking of programs, resources, let's talk about events, because we're talking about me getting a haircut. Can I get a haircut?
Please, yes. Yeah, come on down
on
to
Friday,
Easter
April 3rd.
Blessings. Yep, the barbershop is going to be there, and I'm going to pencil you in for a haircut as we speak.
I'm going to visit my mom soon, so you know what? I probably should. She always likes when I get a haircut. But yes, Friday, April 3rd, from 11 to 2 p.m., it is going to be Easter Blessings. So come on and join us. It's going to be a great fun time. Join us to volunteer and help out everybody. But as I've asked in the past, is this event just for homeless folks? folks? No, certainly not. Because some of us are living check to check. Some families might have a little bit of need, and just getting a meal on this day, getting together and celebrating is always important. And what an event it is, because last time I got to go, I'll be out there volunteering, was pinnacle to see it with my own eyes, to see how many tables do you set up. The numbers are here. So I'm on the website. We don't often do this, but I was like, you know what, let's do it today.
All right.
Where I went to the website, where look at these numbers. It's right there on the website, grmtucson.com. Right on the homepage, you scroll down a little bit. You can see the impact they've done. And look, I'll click it again because there's the 2025 impact. Over 239,000 meals served, 122,000 beds at night, right? 325 jobs secured, all these big numbers, 431 moved to housing, and 618 guests in recovery. Look at the 6-year impact. Let's just times, the numbers are ticking and ticking. A nice round number there. Meals served, 1,400,000, right? And the list goes on, 635,000 beds at night. That's huge, and more. Go get all these facts and figures. Let them animate right before your eyes so you can see everything happening at the Gospel Rescue Mission. And Easter Blessings to Go is coming on up.
Yeah, maybe I could plug in right there, Frank, that Gospel Rescue Mission is 100% privately funded.
Yes, very important facts.
We depend on the generosity of the community, to make this kind of impact. We don't take any local, any state, any federal money. It allows us the flexibility to do what matters.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you have money that's attached to funding, that's attached to program, you're kind of stuck in that program.
Mm-hmm.
We could have never opened the Center of Opportunity with public money because literally we were changing things up when we opened like every single week because we were like, okay, that's not working. Got to change it up to do that. And we would have never been able to do that with public money. So it's because of the generosity of the community that we're able to serve community with such great, services and resources. So if you're looking for a charity to support, either with your finances, your volunteerism, your in-kind contributions, or your tax credit.
I was about to say that Arizona tax credit, it's time.
Yes, we hope that you choose Gospel Rescue Mission.
Not to be putting my tax information out there, but you're one of the organizations I chose last year. I'm doing it again this year because I finally did figure out how to use the Arizona tax credit. There was some extra steps, but they've got an explanation that they got. Do you have an explanation on your website?
Yes.
Or there's a website for it, yeah?
Yeah, grmtucson.com/tax credit.
There you go. It's that simple. So you can choose them. They'll help you right through it there. And if you want to break up your contribution, you can break it up to several organizations. I also gave some money to Youth on Their Own because, again, I always talk about them. The title of that organization says it right there. And by giving to them, I feel like I'm helping not have to, help them out at Gospel Rescue Mission, where it might be where they wind up next.
Right.
So it's always good to look where your Arizona tax credit can go, and you can listen anytime on demand. I've talked to, I believe, Kimberly Kirshner from IBE, and she will give you all the details on how to do this on a previous episode. Some of the years have changed, but it's all relatively the same. So get all the details and go to grmtucson.com/
tax credit.
There you go. That's simple and easy to remember. You think I would have done it. But yes, and that's really important. So it's a great day out. So volunteer if you can. If you can't donate your time, donate some money. And are you taking food donations right now as well?
We are. Yeah, we're still collecting food donations. We're a little short on hams and eggs and potatoes and pies. So we welcome that. You can drop it off at the center there at 4550 South Palo Verde Road.
There you go. We need some green eggs and ham, right? That's what we
right.
want. So they're going to be having a breakfast that morning as well, but it is sold out, which is a great thing. So this was an event that you took over that might have kind of gone away, right? Like if you weren't doing this. So that's huge. And this is only its 5th year that you've been doing this, but 3 years that it's sold out. Well done. Congratulations on that.
That's called the Good Friday Breakfast. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's been happening in Tucson since 1999. A group of local businessmen had it and just wanted a day of bringing in a national speaker, bless the community, an inspirational message. And they approached us about 5 years ago and said, hey, we're looking at not doing this anymore. And we stepped in just merely as, gosh, such a great event. We don't want it to die. Mm-hmm. And it's been great, man. What an incredible opportunity to make people aware of the Gospel Rescue Mission and what we do, and also be uplifted and motivated that morning with an inspirational message. And then we go straight to the Easter Blessings event over at the Center of Opportunity and help those in need.
It's good to start with a big breakfast for a big day. Let me ask you this much. What time do you have to wake up that morning? What time do you think you're waking up? Is it 4 a.m.?
I'll be, sure. Yeah, no, I'll be ready at 4 a.m.
Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, it is early, but it's worth it. It's worth it for sure.
Such a big day. So yes,
And
make
let me
sure.
say,
Yes, go
this
ahead.
speaker, I hate to promote it because we are sold out. But Miles Simon, former 1997 U of A champion basketball player who won in the 97 championship and was the MVP, he's going to be our speaker this year.
Wow.
And so just so happens, as we enter into the Final Four, I'm positively confessing by faith that we'll be in the Final Four, but that Miles will be our speaker. So excited about that. And if you're interested in the breakfast, don't miss out next year. We're going to have another amazing speaker. And you can find all the details on our website there.
That is amazing.
He'll also be he's coming from the breakfast to Easter Blessings.
There you go.
So he wants to come and serve as well. And so he'll be showing up there in addition to the breakfast.
Yeah, even a couple years ago, you had Tim Tebow at this thing. I remember that, right?
Yeah. Tim Tebow was amazing. And we all know, his public declaration of his faith.
Yeah.
But he just brought an incredible, compelling message. And we've had motivational speakers like John Gordon. We've had Tommy Spalding. This year, Miles Simon. We've had Larry Fitzgerald. We've had so many athletes and national speakers. That's information's on the website as well, so check it out.
So great. Again, you're doing such good stuff. That's going to give people inspiration because it is, and opportunity is the word that you use because that's what it's all about. You're giving people a lot of hope. It's hope, shelter, transformation, all that stuff, but you really are giving a lot of people hope and positivity with all of the stuff that you do constantly. And that's why I always love talking about what you're doing because you're an organization that really does it more than most. I mean, there's just so much that you're doing for so many people. So I really do want to talk about some of the other great stuff that we did experience together. We had conversations on a bench. So we did that in the autumn, right? So now since then, right, they took down the big long videos and they were chopping them up into different chapters and different things like that to make it like that. Another great thing at that event was that some people from the city came that had never really got involved. Right. And maybe some other bigger organizations did notice you because you were doing that. The media was phenomenal that you did. The way you presented it was so well done and so professional. Have you gotten any more relationships out of that since then, now that we're removed from it? From anyone that did come down and be like, you know what, now I get it. And they've maybe reached out or done more since then?
We really have, Frank.
Okay.
It's been... we knew that as we just kind of opened the platform and started having conversations about, what are the solutions and what are the resources to get us there? What is everybody's desire to see with those that are living on the streets? How can we all individually help? So that was the basis of the conversation, and it was, like you said, we brought in partners that we currently work together. We brought in partners that we've never worked together. So just to have that conversation. So I feel like it did motivate the conversation and allow us to work together. Collaboration is the foundation of what we do at the center. It's cliche, but we are better together. And we make a greater impact when we work together. So we always strive to do that in any way possible. We have had some additional conversations with the city, with the county, developing those conversations, which is always great, right? Mm-hmm. Any opportunity there is to have a round table that talks about, homelessness or solutions or even challenges that Gospel Rescue Mission wants a seat at that table because we strive to work in collaboration with others. And so we will be having conversations on a bench again this year. That's in October.
Love it.
And hopefully every year we can just continue to build on that and build new relationships and cultivate the new relationships that we've already built.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. Then one day it'll turn to Conversations on a Bench, the movie, and it'll be great nationwide because that's how things work. No, but it's really putting a face on not just your organization, but then on the mission and some of the people at the organization. I love Bruce because Bruce did such a great job. He's like, we're going to get raw. I love Bruce talking about that. I want to be challenged. We're going to be talking to people all night. It was so great because that sort of energy, you're not always going to find that on a random Monday. You're going to find that when you have a big event like this and make it a happening. And that certainly was a happening. I really did. I saw a lot of familiar faces, and it was just great to then even talk to people post that event and be like, so what'd you think of that? What'd you think of that? Wasn't that something special? Wasn't that great? Wasn't this something? What about the coffee shop? Wasn't that great? that was really something pinnacle. I do invite people to make sure they get involved or go find it over on YouTube because you have a YouTube channel. So go find it on YouTube. Go subscribe to Gospel Rescue Mission's YouTube page. Go like them on Facebook and follow them on Instagram because they're always doing stuff. There's a lot of updates constantly. Do you still have a podcast going or is that still?
It's on hold right now, but getting ready to relaunch it.
Okay, great. But again, I'm sure some of that is on demand because it's evergreen. So it doesn't matter if they're talking about a good message from last Easter. It's the same message that you're delivering just on a different date. So really, you can go learn a lot about this wonderful organization by following them on social media, but really get involved. I don't think you can find a better organization to get involved with because you're going to see a lot of familiar faces. What is just something that maybe you want to express that you don't often get asked? You know, because I like when we talk, we have casual conversations a lot. And sometimes I feel like I do talk about some stuff that we don't always talk about. So just even now, if there's something.
Yeah, I think the question always is, why do the people remain on the streets? Is it because of lack of affordable housing? Is it, is addiction, mental health? What is it? And, I always say it's all the above. But 80% of the people that come through our doors are homeless because of addiction or mental health. Most of the time, both. So we can't ignore that, Frank. And I think that there needs to be more recovery programs out there to address that because we know people are making the choice to live on the streets because their lives are being ravished by addiction. So we need to provide help, for that. And the drug crisis, with the drugs coming across the border is more prevalent than ever. It's cheaper than ever. It's more accessible than ever. So that plays into it for sure. So I think all those questions, we should often talk about it. What is the percentage of those that are living on the streets? Every single year, the city and the county do what's called a point-in-time count, where they choose one day, it's in January, one day where they send volunteer workers out to the community and they actually count people that are living in parks, in the encampments, on the streets in general, and so that we can have an idea on how many people are actually homeless in Tucson. So that number always falls around 2,200, which we know is low. But more than the number, let's talk about the reason that they're homeless, right? Have you lost your job and therefore you lost your apartment and have you been priced out? Are you on a fixed income and you can't find, a place to live? So I would like to see the pit count actually have a little bit more information than just a number. Would be very beneficial to the conversation.
That's important. And I got to say, the city itself needs to address certain things as they do. They enacted some different laws last year when we were speaking. I was saying, now they're going to fine people that are on the medians. I don't know if a fine does anything or if it stops anything, but that was something they were starting to do. But now, just 4 days ago, Tucson's actively, I'm just quoting an article, Tucson is actively addressing housing shortages and homelessness with major projects. In early 2026, a 17-story Tucson house is undergoing a $200 million renovation to modernize over 350 senior apartments. Additionally, a 66-unit affordable housing complex in Midtown/Sugar Hill area broke ground to boost housing stock. So what do you know about this happening? And I was going to ask you about it, and so tell me, or it's up to you.
It's a lot of money, It's a lot of money. We're thinking, we're putting that much money in the Tucson house for 300 units, where we have developers and apartment builders in this town that will do it for a fraction of that, brand new.
Really?
So I struggle with the idea of that. I struggle always with the government throwing money at this problem that seems wasteful, and I think about what we could do with that money, to change lives. Is that changing lives? Well, certainly it's allowing the people to live there to continue to have a place to live. So that's great. But is it the best use of that money? Who are these committees that are having the research and development conversations, about, hey, we have this bucket of money. Is it best used to renovate the Tucson house, or can we do more things with that money doing something different? But that's me. I'm always thinking of, how we can stretch the dollar, to have maximum impact. So I do disagree with some of those decisions that the county and the city make because it seems wasteful.
Okay. Because it's interesting to me because I wonder about too, because all right, there's a house, but is there a program? Is there anything that's helping folks? Because just a roof over the head is not the solution to a problem. That's how you get, flop houses. And that's how you get things that aren't, once it's built, is going to be maintained.
Yeah, and you're right. And people that are vulnerable and living in affordable housing, they need additional resources. So that's always my question too. Is there wraparound services? Is there supportive housing, where they have programs and resources that are helping them? That's always a good question to ask.
Yeah. That's why I was happy when we talked a little bit at Conversations on a Bench about talking to the city is here. It's the first time they've actually came and spoken to us in a long time, especially since the Center of Opportunity. Yeah. And if not the first, don't misquote me, but you get it. It's not been we're just talk constantly. And that's important because you should be a consultant on a topic like this. You are an expert. Your family has been in this for generations. So I'm surprised that I'm surprised there's not a seat at the table for you at an event when it comes to the city councilor or whoever approves things like this or whatever meetings there were for this to get passed.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be lack of our participation.
Mm-hmm.
So they just had a roundtable I think it was last week too, to talk about homelessness, and we didn't receive the invitation because we are the largest, homeless service provider in all southern Arizona. You would think that we would have an invitation to that. But let me just be on a positive side that we are trying to, build those relationships so we can have a seat at the table and so we can, be in conversation with them. I know these things sometimes take time, and that's okay. We have time.
At least there is something going forward, and I like the fact that no matter what we say, that event where you started that conversation perhaps, and people know you more now, and it is that's important. And that did start with Conversations on the Bench, which was the first time you did that. Mm-hmm. So the first time you're doing that is going to lead to more conversations for the next time you do it and more involvement. And honestly, I can't champion your organization enough. Constantly. Right. It's the Gospel Rescue Mission. They're doing more than most ever do. It really is something that you've got to look into. Don't have those preconceived notions, and they do not get government money, which is why they are free to help the people the way that they help them. And it seems like one of the best ways that they help because I talk to them a lot. So I have a pretty good bird's eye view of a lot of these organizations in town and for what they do. And yours is simply pinnacle. All right. So that's the point. So let's leave it there. Because today, we made friends with Lisa Chastain of the Gospel Rescue Mission, helping save lives every day through hope, shelter, and transformation. Join us on Good Friday. It's a fun, free event for all. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much for joining me today.
As always, thank you so much, Frank.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. Always fun getting together with Lisa Chastain of the Gospel Rescue Mission. Perhaps my favorite guest. I do become quite the evangelist, trying to get everybody out there to help out because it's a real deal, and all the people she helps, they need that help, but they also just need a little bit of kindness. It didn't come up this time, but I remember last time we spoke, there were about 60 homeless children there, and that's not, again, a fact or a figure that you just go, oh, it's one out of this many that, or they just got to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, or addiction. They're children that are put in this circumstance, and there's several dozen of them over there. So volunteering right down there for Good Friday and Easter blessings is a really good idea. So I'm going to be down there doing that. And there's also a bunch of opportunities to help them out. Arizona Gives Day is coming up. Your Arizona tax credit is another way, or just donating your money. If you cannot donate your time, go get all the details over at grmtucson.com. And I can't believe she told me to get a haircut, but she's right. Oh my. I want to thank our old friends at the Gospel Rescue Mission for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or ESPN Tucson. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts do something. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson. Because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And Toot Toot Tucson. I love you the most.